Look at me as an old lady learning my lessons. I got things set up. I changed the camera stuff just a little bit. I, unlike you, Heffa, learned my lessons. Apparently, from your latest community tab post, you just can't help change at all. That's why we know when your ass touches down in Canada, if you're not here already, but I do know it takes time. Not enough time for you to just rest instead of raging in your community tab and then deleting it like the punk ass you are. You decided that you had to do all your greatest or worst hits in life yet again. You had to go after the cat that you said was dead to you. Literally said in your little tea with Miriam that you let it go because she's already dead. The cat's living her best life. Any judge worth their grain of salt would look at your lawsuit and say you're wasting their time. So I don't understand why you can't let it go. I know it was your biggest loss on the internet, and I know that sucks for you. But the rest of us want you to move on and do that health journey you said you're going to be about. Because there's a lot of sanctimonious people online that seem to think that meanie bobinis like me, who call out your fuck shit, need to dial it back some because you're doing it, you're admitting you have a problem. She's always admitting her problems. You go back 7 years, she's constantly admitting she has problems. She never tries to solve her problems. And when somebody like me comes in and calls that out, all of a sudden you just want decorum, you want people to play nicer. Nah, if you want that, go somewhere else. She has had plenty of time, plenty of opportunity, and has wasted it all. And now all she wants to do is try to bring bad bitch energy, which I keep telling you, Heifer, you can't because you're not willing to do what you need to do to change. You play games, you say horrendous things, you pick fights and you walk it back. Or you try to act like a big badass because you think you're going to call the cops. Something that you watch from my stream. Me and my partner joked because we said we've had people try, literally try because of my political takes, to threaten us, to talk about coming to my door and shooting me. So I know what the fuck that feels like. And I told him, because my partner he's a registered gun owner. And he said, if somebody shows up, and I'm like, don't do that. Hey, first of all, we don't court people like that. We don't want you bothering us, and we ain't going to bother you. But if you show up, you're going to get arrested, because that is what adults actually do. But the thing is, we don't go around talking about people's deceased kids, allegedly. And you can't even say with Chantal that she might not have said it because she brought up another content creator's deceased former partner. She's constantly going low, and then she thinks deleting it will somehow erase it. When nah, if you put it out there on the internet, somebody's got it. Okay? Just point blank. The fact that lady is allegedly mad and not just trying to intimidate you, because you never know with the internet. But I believe that if what you said about her deceased kids allegedly is real, she's pissed. And I wouldn't blame her. I'm old school New York. You talk shit about my kid, I'm liable to get a baseball bat to your kneecaps. That's just how my brain works. But that is why I don't fucks with these internet stuff anymore on that level. Chantal says a lot of stupid shit. You gotta take it from the heifer's mouth and realize that that's all she has. When she talks about his moms, it's jealousy. When she talks about our lives versus her sad, pathetic, had to buy a man to prove to everybody and then got mad when I didn't life, she courts this chaos. She wanted to be an e-celebrity. She wanted to show all of us that she's living her best life. But when we picked it apart, which we're allowed to do under fair use, Heifer couldn't handle it. She still can't handle it. And like I said, her biggest loss was given to her by FFG. And like I said, I enjoy it. I enjoy watching her past reiterated to her because she tries to act like the cats weren't living in squalor, which is documented, that there wasn't incidents where a past crackhead she was dating physically harmed said cat. She's trying to act like there's nothing on record of jokes about wood chippers, putting her in the bag, end of life consultations. There isn't a judge with a grain of salt that would look at the evidence, realize that the only thing Foodie is guilty of right now is being a stupid fuck shit who doesn't check, and ended up giving the cat to somebody who could prove to the world. And the thing that trips me out, because I hate even talking about this again, but she's constantly fucking bringing it up. So she must want people to really litigate that for her. As somebody who dabbled, and I should have. I tell my partner all the time, should have just went in law enforcement, because my analytical brain loves shit like this. But as somebody who got offered a literal NDA, because at first, FFG just wanted to save the cat. That was the whole goal, saving BBJ's life. She offered you $3,500 and an NDA to not talk about it. And I don't know if you understand what NDAs do, even in a non-lawsuit country like Canada. If you sign a contract, she would have had to honor it, stupid. But you're so prideful, and you're so fucking mad. You didn't want to take that offer. And I'm going to tell you something, as an old school New Yorker, if somebody makes you an offer that sounds good and keeps you out of trouble, maybe you should fucking take that offer, dum-dum. But you didn't. You were prideful. You were defiant. You weren't going to let your mortal enemy get one up on you. And guess what, Heifer? She got one up on you. Not only did she get one up on you, she took the cat to get the treatment that you should have been taken care of. As a cat mom myself, still learning because it's new to me, Callie gets all the best care. Callie gets a clean area. Callie gets constant love, attention, and she gets her vet visits. We had to get her spayed because she was a young kitten and we didn't want to be cat grandparents. Whew. And we got her taken care of, all her shots and everything. And we go back in less than 6 months now because it was 6 months, 2 months ago. And she has an amazing vet. Amazing set of people who will do the checkups, make sure she's okay, tell us what we need to do if she's not, and help us out, because that's what vets do when you care about your pet babies. But see, Chantal, we know everything in your life is an accessory. Everything in your life is to exploit. Julia, when you got her, was a big F you to us. And now you're leaving her behind to supposedly take care of your health, when this is probably just a Christmas visa run. And you want us all to speculate about it. Because honestly, I don't think you understand how much goes into weight loss surgery still. You say a lot of dumb fuck shit about how you're just going to get it done. You say a lot of stuff that you don't understand. And you speak like you're an expert. And that drives me fucking nuts too, because it don't make sense. You have never, ever tried to seriously lose weight. You've lied constantly about your scale. That's why people made fun of you, Miss 535. We know you're not really 500 pounds. 500 pounds on an alleged 5'1" frame is big. Trust me, I just watched Shauna Steele with Ann Jean again, because I used to love watching my 600-pound life, you know, because I almost got there myself. So it was easy for me to watch other people who did get there and beyond and say, okay, this was where you were heading. You don't ever want to get there again. So yeah, I watch creators like Shauna Steele who react to my 600-pound life, and I'm just grateful. That young lady was 5'1", like you allegedly was, and almost 700 pounds. So yes, our frames make that mass look even bigger. Trust me on it. But when you said that you were 366, which isn't that far off from where I got back up to, I just stared, because I was like, I know I'm only a few inches, if that much, taller than you. And you're trying to say that you're still in the low 3s or the mid 3s? No, Heifer. Put at least 50 on that. You're in your 4s. But you're not willing to come correct and be upfront and be honest about where you're at. You want to argue that a scale you probably tilted years ago is enough for us to believe you, which we don't. You have proven yourself constantly to be a liar who lies. And nobody wants to believe somebody who was willing to fake a scale that Pete's exposed. He exposed that the scale had him at 70 pounds lighter than he knew he was. So when we say bariatric scale, we mean bariatric scale. And a doctor's office which wouldn't let you tape in the first place, and you knew that. No doctor, due to privacy laws, will let you tape. And that's another way my analytical brain picks apart her stuff. She might have taken paperwork from somewhere. MLM centers, it's the one she's working with allegedly, has clinical ties because the physician that founded it, believes in his snake oil. So I do believe that they can set up centers and make paperwork that looks convincing. But do I believe that Heffa actually went to a doctor? Man, fuck no. I do believe that Chantal thinks she's playing a long game with all of us to keep us interested in her sad life. And I'm telling you, if you don't start striving soon, I'm going to move on. There are better heifers out there, not just to call out, but to give, high fives to. Last night, before I went to bed, Taylor Talk, which is another new creator that I found that I enjoy, she was, or they, because I don't want to assume gender. Yeah, I thought it was a she, but I could be wrong, so I don't want to misappropriate people's genders. I mean, I'm telling you, it's hard though. People don't really put out there, and they don't have to. But to me, I thought they sound feminine, but I don't want to make that mistake. So anyway, Taylor Talk was highlighting this young lady that I don't know who she is, but she's a big girl. Like, she is what we would call a half-ton heifer if she was ratchet, but she's sweet. She was pretty. She was doing her best life, went to Cabo, went down to Mexico, and was just living it up on ATV and everything, taking these amazing pictures, just living her best, happy, big girl life. I guarantee you that unlike that other entitled heifer that's like, we need the plains to give us more seeding, she realizes that the world is going to look at her a certain way, but she's going to hold her head up high and carry herself because she loves herself. You got that vibe watching her that she's just okay with herself. She knows that the world might not accept her or her body, but it ain't about that. It really is about the fact that she, as a person, has made her peace and is doing her thing. Is her mask big? Yeah, the camera angles did not hide anything. She definitely had ba-bam. I thought I had ba-bam. She made my ba-bam look so small and it made me sad kind of. Because I always joke about having the butt. She made my butt look small. I don't know how to feel about that. But she seems, honestly, jokes aside, like a very sweet young lady. And that's what we were trying to tell you, the Oklahoma heifer, and all the rest of you sad sacks who get on this app talking about your weight loss journey and doing fuck all about it. I know that me yelling at you from a fitness bike isn't going to change your life, heifer, but I do know you watch this. I know you want me obsessing over you. And I'm telling you, TikTok, bitch, because honestly, Christmas is coming. I got new stuff coming, and that is going to entertain me way more than your sad, getting high life, because we know that's where it's going. We know you'll blame us meanies, just reaction channels, people who talk about you, people who show you what fitness is like, people who are just trying to help you out whether you know it or not. Because those critiques worked. When we told you your house is dirty, you allegedly started cleaning it. When we told you what you could do to improve your cooking streams, you started to defiantly fly. Well, you know you didn't get enough cookware to make a damn. Because you were still throwing stuff on cling wrap and other crap in your air fryer and just doing things haphazardly. You wouldn't have had to clean so deeply if you had been smarter as a home chef. And you know how you could have been smarter as a home chef? Surrounding yourself with people who care. But you don't do that, Chantal. You like cheerleaders. And your cheerleader, one of them is a little psychotic. Oh yeah, I heard about you, heifer. Miss, I'm going to psyops and send dirty pictures to a man that is credibly an abuser and worse. But I'm supposed to be intimidated by these people when there's known pictures of you floating around like that? Nah, I don't think so, heifer. Don't wander my way for Chantal. If Chantal wants to come correct, she and I can have a back and forth like grown people. The fact that you think that you can get in the middle of grown people's beefs is your main problem. If it don't have anything to do with you, mind your fucking business. We already know Chantal can't do that. She inserts herself in shit that had nothing to do with her because she wants to be a hero and look like an idiot. When two grown people are having a beef, it has nothing to do with you, stupid. And the fact that you decided to wade into the past thing that had absolutely nothing to do with you because you thought you were going to defend, you don't have mama energy. And even I, as a mom, know when to mind my business. I don't get involved with locals because locals' families should be the ones to defend them if they need defending. And a lot of y'all don't need defending because you're defiant. You think you know better than everybody. You get on the internet and act like fucking fools. And if you don't want people making fun of these people, then their families need to do something about it. I don't understand why people think, well, you should go after these creators that do that. No, I shouldn't. Everybody involved is a whole ass adult. One of the adults might be impaired, but that is on their families. And I know this seems controversial to say, but I don't care at this point. I am very old school. My son is on the spectrum. Do you think that I wouldn't, if he was on YouTube, cussing, fussing, picking fights with another creator, shut that shit down? Especially living in my house? Get the fuck out. I don't even understand how this is even a conversation we all need to be having. Because as long as these people are making their careers allegedly online, or being online doing stupid fuck shit, they're allowed to be critiqued. And for some people, they make their content trolling them. It is what it is. And honestly, I don't understand why that would even be something you would say to me as if it's supposed to touch the center of my sociopathic heart. Because I tell people, I am a literal diagnosed sociopath. I do not feel things like normal people, and I don't care if you care about that. Like, you're not going to potential me. I listened to you whine on the expose of you after it was busted, your little wannabe covert and all your lies. And I'm going to tell you something that might flip you out, Heffa. The fact that you, when you're talking about all your positive benefits, throw out what your family do, that's a tell. That's a tell. Analytically, my brain goes, oh, she doesn't do good at all. She's a tone board. You say awful things about people and then you walk it back. You don't recall. Bitch, it's easy question. Did you say something or no? That's it. Yes or no. It's not, I don't recall. I don't recall is to me in judicial speak as somebody who I really wish I had gone into law enforcement. Now, I could have been a judge the way I hear shit people say and don't say. It fucks me up the way you say things like, I don't recall. Businessmen used to do that all the time when they would do shitty stock things and not want to get busted on it. That I don't recall was a good tell. You know you talk shit. You know you use DMs, which is something I am vehemently against. Like, even when I could. And trust me, people on Twitter love to send shit all the time. It's another reason why I don't go on it no more. Because my fucking box is full of people tattling constantly. They love it. They want people exposed. It's annoying. I don't believe in using DMs. If you can't tell me in public, then it doesn't need to be shown. And I don't believe in doxing people even when they deserve it. The guy that threatened me, yeah, I had all his information. I had to. At that time, my partner was not living with me, and I was with my kid. I wasn't going to let this guy just show up at my house. That has happened before. That just happened recently, where a psycho killed a podcaster because he thought that he deserved her. So it was fucking weird, and I wanted to make sure it didn't happen. Some of you kiddies want to play this little junior high school back and forth. When there are really psychotic people out there, I wasn't playing those games, and I don't trust the police for my own protection. So we handled it another way. But when I get people's information, I get people's information. I just don't broadcast it online. I don't need it. I needed that to make sure that fucker didn't show up at my place. That's how you utilize information. But some of you kids are playing like it's junior high still. Some of you are acting like it's okay to dox people, show DMs. And you just trust that you are not a person that can be trusted with private sources and information. If that's your stick, fine. I don't care. Like, I know these internet streets are big, wide, and there's room for everybody. But I do feel that there's a certain decorum when people give you information that you shouldn't expose like that. And I will never change my mind on that because it's weird. But I did laugh at the fact that little Miss Psyops thought that she was going to be undercover sister girl. I don't even know what to call that shit. Because I ain't never said nobody that I'm supposedly hating that I know is an alleged abuser. Risky and worse, allegedly. Because I have to say allegedly about the worst, but the risky definitely happened. That's why you went into panic mode. You also wanted to keep talking about your family, but you, Chantal, and other people, y'all don't think about your family when you go all popping off with rage. Anybody that wants to ding my family and show them my videos, they can see that turns out she's calling out people. That's what she does. They're not going to see me talking bad about the dead like some of yous do. They're not going to see me picking fights with a creator that doesn't deserve it because you're a little animal abuser. And a person who sends news to an alleged sexual assaulter. So they're going to look at you like, why are you bothering us if you did bother them? And a lot of them I don't talk to anyway, so go off, queens. I think it's funny the intimidation tactics some of you have utilized on these internet streets because fighting directly has become a lost art form. As a Gen Xer, you don't involve other people in a beef between you and somebody else. It doesn't make sense to do that. It needs to be a back and forth between you and the person you are beefing with. With you and FFG, she doesn't involve other people in her stuff. I know that was your latest big brain moment. You thought, oh, these new reaction channels, she must be getting them. I didn't know her like that. I enjoyed her content and I started watching you via her content. We were all sitting in her content that night you did that red hijab raid. And when you did it, and you said what you said, not just about Gaza and Palestine and all those god-awful, non-geopolitical takes, idiotic takes, actually. You made some really shitty comments about her parents passing that you thought if you could just delete it, it didn't happen, but it did happen. And we decided to start critiquing your content. It wasn't an order from anybody. It could have been any content creator stream that you said that shit in. And it would have been like, oh, okay. So she's that level bitch. Okay. It's okay for me to comment, critique her lack of content. Her nonsense. You started using some of the stuff I was saying early on. And I didn't want to believe. My channel is small still. And it's fine because I'd rather grow it organically with people who genuinely want to come and either watch me sweat my ass off, literally, because I'm losing the weight heifer. And even after being sick, I'm going to get my 40 minutes in now instead of just 30. Because you got to bump it up. Because by the summer, I want to be able to swim, walk, and do all the things I used to. In fact, when I got my surgery, one of the things that I had to do to start off was recumbent bike. Well, actually, full exercise bike Grandma had. She didn't even have the recumbent, so it was a bit harder with my frame, but I did it. And then I went to walking. Walking is a good low impact exercise, and that's why I was trying to tell you to walk, but apparently that's too much for you. So you definitely need a thing with a recumbent bike because your frame needs something to pump it. Pool is another thing. And we have said it. I watched Sansa Cook's amazing interview with a doctor again. And they were all saying the same thing, that they're still trying to be nice to you, and I can't. I can't be nice to you on this because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because, honestly speaking, you could have been doing this in Kuwait. You could have been in a pool or a fitness center, taking care of yourself. But all of this is just for Vlogmas coin, so I don't believe the shit that you say. You're going to have to prove it with your actions this time. Because your words don't mean fuck all to anybody like me. I do the thing because I have to. I have things I want to live for. I have a life worth living for. And you stay proven, even with your sad anniversary, even with that man sometimes doing voiceovers, that your life isn't worth you changing at all for. And you're going to have to prove to a lot of us with actual actions that we're wrong about that. Because if you were happy in Kuwait, the way you said, you wouldn't have been shoving mountain the fucking food in your face. You wouldn't be pushing that MLM sludge shake and trying to say that it's going to change your life. You would have been living your best life and being smug about it. Because you're really smug when you're really happy. I noticed that about your personality too. You will smile and preen, but you weren't happy. You were alone a lot more than you wanted to admit because that man didn't want to be there. You say he was on business or whatever lies you tell yourself, but he did not want to share that space with you. You were up at 5 a.m. face fucking corn with mayo and seasoning. You were up crying about going to Canada whenever he took too long away from the place. That's why we didn't see you all the time together. That's why the few times you were together and you tried to force him into giving voiceovers about the food you made, it sounded not just robotic, but just detached. Like, oh, you're still here. Okay, I'll say these lines. Leave me be. Get me a car. You know? You don't like people saying that about your relationship. But you're the one that made this whole channel based on your life. You made your life monetizable. And when you do that, you open yourself up to criticism. And you're not the only person on the internet with critiquers. Honey, there are plenty of you real life vlog channels that have people that talk about you. I watched this other lady who allegedly had a house with 10 kids and no hot water, which I can't even imagine what that's like. I can't imagine having babies, that many babies at once, because kids are a lot. And it is hard to budget around one kid, so I can't imagine adding 9 more to the mix. But to have a place where the water isn't functioning properly, not allowed. I like my showers. I like warm water to clean. I don't understand the lack of home training some people display. And the sad thing is, it works. People will watch in either horror or need and come out of their pockets for somebody they think, I'm just helping the babies, when a lot of times you're not. And I know that makes people mad when I say it, but no. If she was doing the right things, A, she wouldn't be exploiting herself and them kids for views. And B, the kids would be taken care of well. I don't know people's business. I ain't monetizing people's coin. I ain't coin watching at all. But I know that if you bring 10 little ones out in this world and you ain't doing your absolute best to be the best mom out there, and if you're going to put a camera in front of them and your faces, then I don't want to see you. I don't want to know you. And we could not be even more different. My kid is not a tool for my popularity or lack thereof, because I really don't care if I'm popular or not. I really don't understand people who exploit their little ones like that. There are way too many fucking predators online. And that is something you have to think about anytime you decide to videotape your child. And I don't even understand the people that don't grasp that, because they want them YouTube coins. Because they want some kind of fucking kudos and high five. And no, you don't get that. You don't get that for taking your babies, putting a camera in front of them, and saying things like, well, this vlog will help make us money for their college. And you're not fooling anybody. Half them kids ain't going to college. You know it, I know it. Let's keep it 100. And because the way you keep raising them with their lack of actual deficiency and constantly being in the system, there was absolutely no freaking way those kids are going to have a leg up on anybody. Going to school dirty, going to school hungry, that is a distraction that fucks with any kid. And I just don't understand some of you that do this kind of stuff. I don't understand those of you who monetize your life, and I don't think I ever will understand it. I understand YouTube a little bit better now that I've been on here calling out the heifer, doing these Fitbangs, and just trying to show people that mental health doesn't mean constant crying, breakdowns, and doing bad things. If this had been 20 years ago, I really feel like I would have been successful on this stupid fucking app. Because apparently, the big ass messes, with personal dramas, with chasing bad people, with doing awful things to your bodies, tends to be the way the views go. And you know what? Fuck it, I don't want views if that's the case. I don't think it's right to monetize your mess and then get mad when people call out your mess. Like this girl, I'm listening back to one of the calling out the heifer because honestly, I need to make sure that the sound on some of these are okay. And the fact that you think going back to Canada as an alleged Muslim woman because you think wearing that costume makes you the same as us, which, no, I'm not even Muslim, but I mean women of color in general, which you're trying to culture vulture. The fact that you can say that candidly, say that you feel like you would be attacked by bigots. Like, there are bigots out there that are anti-Muslim. There are. I'm not even going to deny it. You even have that in your country, which surprises me, but, Canada tries to portray itself as a really nice country. If everything I experienced there was a nice country. But like every country, you have your good, bad, and in-betweens. The thing is, you are trying to equate something that a lot of us go through on a regular, and I don't appreciate it. And I got mad. I got heated. I started going off. That rage came right out of me, and it was concentrated in telling you that you're being ridiculous. And did I make fun of the fact that nobody would want to hit you with a car with your mask? Yes. As a big girl, I know. Nobody would want to hit my ass with a car either. And I'm definitely smaller than you, Heifer. So I just feel like instead of worrying about how you would take a situation like that, maybe showing a little bit of fucking empathy for the family who did get mowed down by a bigot. I mean, honestly, I'm a literal diagnosed sociopath, and even my brain said, why is she making something that's clearly not about her? Why would you do that? But that is Chantal. It's par for the fucking course with you. You say crazy fucking stuff, and you don't want to be called out on your crazy stuff. You say things like, I don't feel safe because something happened to somebody else that happens to share the same religion as me. Not the same cultural background as me, but I think because I put a costume on, that makes me, and some filters. I seen that TikTok. That was awful. And I don't think you understand that if you did talk about that lady's deceased kids, it's out there. There are people that grab your everything. Even the people that you think have your back. They're out there data mining for people that don't like you. And I can't imagine what that feels like. I can't imagine having people around me butter me up in one ear and then go around and telling others everything I say. But that's how nasty you are. You wanted to be the chaos queen and court all your shit. So now you got to deal with people who are just there to stab you in the back. And probably one of your closest cheerleaders is the main one because she thinks she's playing every fucking side. And it's hilarious. Because she has done some really stupid shit that can now be used against her. It don't make no sense. All people want to do is call out your content, honey. It really ain't that deep anymore. You are like the gag gift that keeps giving this holiday season. And I know it's only going to get better for our content because it's going to get worse for you because that rage showed us exactly where your mind is. You're going to try to bother a lawyer who will probably take your limited funds if you let them and then tell you that there is nothing they can do because you gave that cat over. You did. The cat's no longer yours. And there's documented proof of neglect, of dirt and filth, and you can blame mental health and all that stuff. You're not diagnosed. So no judge worth their salt, even in your jurisdiction, because people have words about, well, maybe because of where she lives, because there's a lot of small towns like that here in America. But I'd like to think that justice, no matter what, is smart enough to not award somebody with clear, documented animal neglect anything. So I would suggest that you do what you said in that Tea With Me video, that I'm going to let it go, she's gone to me, bullshit that you literally said. I reacted to it. So even if you wanted to delete it, I've got my version. Many people got their version because we heard it from your lips. You were supposed to be letting that shit go. You can't let anything go because you're a narcissist who does not like to be embarrassed, but you got a humiliation fetish. I'm telling you, the girl has so many personalities. And so as I said in several of my calling out the heifers, it's like watching somebody on a 10-lane highway and you never know what lane she's going to dart into. But she has all the lanes and she crosses into all the lanes, but she needs to stay in fucking one lane to pick it. Either you're there to change your life and get your shit better so that you can be a smug, skinny bitch that we all can't stand, or you're going to keep doing the same old and getting mad and blaming your mental health that you're not diagnosed with. Your own words. You never follow up on appointments. You didn't want to deal with the health system. You're going to have all the excuses that you used to why you can't officially be diagnosed, but you diagnose yourself from Google, and that's not how that works. Because if you want to match my energy, which you keep acting like you want to match my energy, which I'm almost at 40 minutes, heifer, 40 minutes of sustained exercise. If you want to even remotely one day get to this, whether you think you can or not, it's going to take work. And we know you're work allergic. We know that you will put in just a minimum effort in front of the camera and then be like, well, I have to go back. I'm having a manic episode and I can't handle this. FFG says something bad about me, so I have to go backwards and eat a mountain of food. Because that's how I really make my coin, but I don't want you to know that that's how I make my coin. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, rinse, repeat. Your cycle is so well known. They have a fucking chart. Imagine being so well documented for your fuck shit that there is literally a chart about your stuff. And you don't even follow that directly. Because you had your awakening first, that, I got to get my life together. Then you tried the fasting, the water stuff, and all that other shit that didn't even last a day. Then you went right back to binging again. Then your blood glucose saga with the 414. There's a lot going on in your life and nothing good. You casually drop that your back problems are there, and it's like, bitch, we know. You're a big girl, and you're a big girl on a small frame like some of us short, thick girls. And when we called out the fact that you don't carry your fat in the same way because you're not active and walking hurts your body apparently, you got mad because you don't want people calling you out. You said cam up. We cammed up. We showed you fitness, and it's still not enough because it was never about that. It's about how you feel you can threaten people on this internet streets, and for your few fans that kiki behind you saying, yeah, they don't do that. They hide behind the avatar. They don't have to, because I need to remind you, yet again, this was the heifer who decided to be an e-celeb showing off her life. Everybody else is just allowed to critique the content. I know it's hard for some of you to understand that. I get it. Some of you are remedial. It happens. Learning is hard. So knowing that she put all her business out there, really bad business sometimes, I'm still not over that CPAP story. Oh my God. Oof. But the fact of the matter is, your cheerleaders will have you believing that people don't have the right to take clips of your already aired content and critique them. No, it is literal fair use. And as long as Chantal puts content out there, whether it's in her community tab, whether it's on an actual video, unless she privatizes it, and even then, people are allowed to report on it because she's a little e-celeb. She did this to herself. She wanted that life. She wanted the attention that she got. So anybody thinking, these people are being a little bit harsh. These people are being a little bit mean. Maybe so. Maybe there are content creators out there that go a little bit harder on her than you might feel she deserves. But that is the way of the internet. People aren't, there's no contract sign saying that we all have to play nice. And there are plenty of content creators out there that still give this heifer good advice, still treat her with an amount of decorum. It shits on them too. There was a man that literally was telling you how to both better your content and your health, and you shit on him. And I know that allegedly his presence online had some, I don't care. I can like somebody's content and not want to get to know them on that level. I don't understand why it's got to be that deep. I don't understand why people got to make it more than it needs to fucking be. Sometimes you just want to hear other people call out her fuck shit and not worry about them on that level. But I've seen her cheerleaders who do that, who like to slide into people's DMs and ingratiate themselves. That's not going to be me. I don't have time. Honestly, making time to do these, making time to just enjoy YouTube has been, I had to work around that because I do try to stick to my routine. It's a Sunday today. I've got to go get cleaned up, make lunch, get in for D&D, which is not going to be live. I don't have a full cold anymore, but whew, good Lord. I am so tired still. But I'm still able to do 40 minutes of fitness. So you don't have an excuse, Chantal. And until you're able to do something like this, I'm going to keep saying it because you need to hear it. You will never be on my level. There's no skinny filter that's going to help you. There's no sludge in the bottle that's going to help you. At your size and damage, you have to exercise consistently. Is it fun? No. Will you have pain? More than likely. But you got to push through it. You got to learn how to get past it if you're going to see results. You don't want to hear it from me, though. You're always setting the goalposts even further down the field because you don't want to be told by anybody how to do this because you're not serious about changing your life. And you can't convince me because I've seen your cycles. It's the same thing over and over and over again. But let me get ready to wrap this up. I've got a lot to do today. And honestly, while this was fun, I got my 40 minutes. I told myself I was going to add another 10 because I had to take 2 extra days off from being sick. And I don't like that. So I'm back up to 40 minutes. I was hoping by the end of the year to be an hour, but I'm not there yet. But it's okay. Because 40 minutes of sustained exercise is better than nothing. You need to get fitness. If you don't want to do it, don't talk to me about being on my level. You'll never match me, heifer.